क्या हो गया? What has happened?
3-2, 3-2. Wembley.
Like, why do we do these things? Like the Arsenal game, now this game. Oh, total like from
Yes, I
ecstasy to
mean,
disappointment to ecstasy again. Uh,
we
I
never
have no
make
words,
it for
but
ourselves.
I have no words, but guys, welcome to Only One United. Another match reaction with the 3 a.m. club, which is not no longer the 3 a.m. club, it's the 12 a.m. club right now. But wow, please, United, stop giving us these heart attacks. Please stop giving us these blood pressure issues because wow, what has happened, Namrata, please. मतलब
I think like
इन हिंदी भी से कि भाई मतलब मजा आ गया मतलब क्या बताएं.
I think like between the match you were talking about, like should we do a match reaction? When we should we do a match reaction? And I was like, man, if we lose, it's gonna be so sad. I don't want to do it. And then last minute, I think it was like 89th minute, or was it Rachel Williams last? It's like a last
89th,
minute goal.
88th minute, yeah.
It's like a last minute. Like what a player comes up clutch every single time. She's been incredible. I think like I don't think she's had a bad performance to be honest whenever she's played with us.
So let me just first apologize, Rachel Williams. I'm so sorry that we, questioned your signing because you've saved us on so many occasions, and you're a cult hero right now for the thing you've done today. You are our hero, and wow! And I just want to say one thing: Wembley, Wembley. We are the famous Man United, and we're going to Wembley, Wembley, Wembley.
Well, the famous. I thought you were going to continue.
No, I am just in shock right now because the moment Carter scored that goal, and I was like, no, please, no. From
I
2-1
was
to
so
3-2 losing, I
disappointed,
was like,
man.
nahi, nahi. Yeah. But wow.
I
Wow,
think
wow, wow, wow. Yeah.
I think like just before that Carter goal, I was responding to somebody like defending Mary, like oh she doesn't make errors all the time and whatever, and then I'm like no, but otherwise like the defense is pretty good, and then she like Millie made that error because of which we equalized, like Brighton equalized, and I was like come on man, how can I keep defending you? Like that was a yeah. I actually thought it's going to go extra time. I thought like if it comes to penalties, man, just United and penalties, I can't take that.
Matlab, I was getting those flashbacks from those time when we lost to Chelsea in the men's FA Cup semi-final, and then
Yeah,
a year after that we lost the Europa League final, and I
Europa
was
final.
like,
Oh God, that was
please,
the worst.
please,
Okay.
penalties, no penalties this time, please. But first final for this team, first final for uh, so many players, and I feel that this is a momentous occasion, and this is something that I have been wanting for so long because every time somebody comes up on this show, and I'm like, would you like to see us win the FA Cup or would you like to see us be top three? Like shamelessly, I keep asking this question, but reaching the final, it's fantastic, and I don't know whether we lift the trophy or not, but just reaching here is just another thing because this is the first time we are doing that. This is for the people. This is for the fans who no longer support us. This is for the players who left us. This is for Casey. This is for so many other players who've done so much. Like even before the team was disbanded in 2005, from 1970s to 2005, whosoever was playing in the Manchester United Ladies Club, it's for them. We've reached the final of the FA Cup. It's surreal, honestly. Like when we won the Carabao Cup with the men this season, and I was like, this like nothing can change this feeling that I'm feeling right now. But just that we've reached the final, it's a big thing. I know that we haven't played well today. Like, ठीक है, it's been like okay. We were lucky that हाँ 3-2 हो गया, but. Final, like FA Cup final for this team. So many of these players haven't won something this big, haven't played in such a big tournament. इतना बड़ा moment है. You're going to be playing in the at Wembley. It's like the best, like the most auspicious stadium in England. Oof. But now I hope Carla Ward defeats Chelsea.
I mean, to be honest, I think like Villa are actually a very good team as well. So I think for me, obviously, wouldn't mind. I think I'd be more confident against Villa than Chelsea. But like I think I've always been like very jealous seeing the Lionesses at Wembley, seeing Tooney, Russo, Earps, they kind of celebrating at Wembley. And then when the men's team, when they celebrated the League Cup, I think I messaged you and I said, I want this for the girls. Like it's gonna hit completely different when we reach Wembley. And yeah, it's completely right in the comments that somebody said that, yeah, right, that we only reached Wembley, we haven't won it yet. Uh, but I think in the previous years, our fixtures had been very difficult in cup games. So we've played in semi-finals. In fact, I think we played in a Conti Cup semi-final in our very first season in Championship, and it was, I think it was against Arsenal, and we only lost 2-1. And then like every single time in FA Cup, we either we always get a top three side before the final, and for once we had a I think we had a easy route to the final, and for us, uh, we made it really hard for us. Like I don't think anybody would have thought that Brighton are gonna beat us, but like they gave it a like they came very close to that. So like we made it hard for ourselves, but eventually we reached the final, and I think it's a mental block. It's the same thing I feel with the top three, that it's not a very big achievement getting in top three, but it's a mental block that we have to get through. And I think hopefully once we get into our first final, even if we don't win it, it just gives them the confidence that we belong there, and every single year that should be the objective and that should be the expectation from the fans.
Yeah, and I feel that why are you laughing? Are you laughing at the same comment
No,
that
no,
I'm
I'm
laughing at?
I'm I'm laughing on Karthik's comments.
No. I was laughing at the same one. This one, right?
uh, yeah, this was my
Karthik, we need to
reaction when
do.
Rachel Williams. This was my reaction when Rachel Williams scored. Like I was like, come on, I was wrong. You were right. Brilliant.
She
Uh,
proved us wrong on two other occasions. I don't remember, but like,
I think
wow.
it was
Like I
Reading,
think,
Reading where she
yeah,
scored.
yeah, 1-0 Reading and one
Yeah,
more game she scored. But yeah, like
I
I want to talk about this, like this particular thing, and then we'll come to the match again. You remember I did a video with Mariam from She Scores Bangers, and she was talking about this particular thing where, we were talking about our frustration that Leon isn't subbed in, Wilde Burisa isn't subbed in. So she said that Rachel Williams has been groomed into that role where she has to come in, make an impact
yeah.
for those few minutes. So when we look at the minutes that Rachel Williams has gotten off the bench, because I don't think she started many WSL games. I think it's only one or two games. But other than that, whenever she's come on, like she's come on in every game, I think, whenever she's been available. So she's come on around the 75th minute, around the 80th minute, around the 85th minute. So she has made that impact where she's like, okay, these are the only minutes that I'll get. And the manager has asked me to do this and that. So she's been groomed into that role, and that was something which I never thought of, because I always used to think that it is favoritism, but it's actually, you're grooming the player to make that impact. And you know scoring a winner in the FA Cup semi-final to help us reach Wembley, that's a wonderful thing. And I think kudos to Mark for grooming Rachel Williams. But yeah, another thing that I wanted to talk about is that uh, we I also tweeted it out from my own account and from OOUC that I was a bit surprised when Russo was subbed off, because she had just scored and we had just conceded, and I was like, okay, we might need Russo, we need that firepower in the front. But I said that why have we subbed off Russo? So people have twisted it around and said that I said why have we subbed off, why have we subbed off Rachel Williams. So it wasn't anything like that. And she's done well, and I think she scored against Villa as well in December, or I don't remember, but she scored another goal against Villa. uh, just fantastic. Matlab, I literally have no words to talk about. Like I wanted to talk. Like remember when I was talking about FA player not working today, and I was like, "Ki why,
Yeah.
it's the same old thing where midfield bypass and everything." But right now, I honestly am so happy that I am trying to overlook those things. And I don't know, like this is something like I know people are saying that we have just reached Wembley, we haven't won it yet, but it's a huge occasion because it's the first final for the team. So yeah, what are your thoughts, Namrata? Like
I
again, we'll
think
talk
I
about
think when
Rachel
you
Williams.
I think when
Yeah, yeah.
Rachel Williams came on, you know, I wasn't very sad that we've subbed off Russo because, the goal that she scored actually, I thought she wasn't really that good throughout the match. And that goal was actually one moment of brilliance. And, I mean, we all know that she's capable of producing those moments of brilliance. She's done that against Arsenal, and she's done that so many times for us this season and previously. But I think overall, maybe Mark thought, that the game is we're kind of ahead, and he can bring on Rachel Williams to kind of finish the match. Uh, but I think definitely, in fact, I tweeted this after the last Brighton game against in the league, where I said that I wouldn't mind if Rachel Williams actually starts the next match because I think the cup team that kind of got us here to the semi final, and I think we have played more or less pretty well in the cup games. Obviously we should have won by more against some of the lower teams, but I think overall the performance wasn't really that great. And I think the reason why Williams really thrives in that role is because she does things very simple. Like she keeps it simple, she keeps the game flowing, it's very direct. And I think a lot of times our forwards, and I think Russo as well, it's like we're trying to walk the ball, like pass the ball into the net. We want to play good football and we want to create good goals. But a lot of times, it's just simple. You get the ball, you create space for yourselves, and you take a great shot and you score a goal. And I think because she does these simple things correctly, that is why she's able to come up clutch in such moments where you need to keep your head clear. Not saying like Russo is not capable of doing that, but I think in the last few matches, I don't think she's been on her top form yet. So maybe she's overthinking quite a bit. The whole contract news, she's distracted from that for sure. And I just think that again, somebody like Brighton, Rachel Williams was definitely the one. Like she had to come on, and I think I was a little bit more disappointed that Lucia was coming off because I thought in the first half Lucia was our best player. So I was a bit disappointed that she's the first one to be subbed out and Martha Thomas came on. Uh, but I definitely would have brought on Rachel Williams for Russo.
I think with the thing that you mentioned about Rachel Williams, we could have we could sense that feeling when she scored that goal against Reading. The with the ease that she controlled the ball inside the she controlled the ball inside the box when she scored that goal. Like it screamed of experience. Like John Fry is
Yeah,
mentioning that it's basically experience. So obviously that she's played like a lot of games in WSL, so she's accustomed to playing like being that clutch. But you know, uh, it's something that only comes with experience. That I agree with John, but at the same time, you mentioned Russo's moment of brilliance, and I felt that that winner could have come if Russo was on pitch. Obviously, this is me just speculating if that, what if, something like that. But uh, but yeah,
but I
like
just think that I just think that even if we had kept Russo on, I definitely thought Williams deserved to
yeah,
come on.
yeah, Rachel should have come on. I'm not denying that, but
Yeah,
I'm just saying that we could have gotten with like we could have 4 or 5 attacking players because that's what we are accustomed
but
to do in
but
every game.
but I will say that if we had got, I don't think our midfield is strong enough that if we put 4 5 players and then if you have maybe
As
two
it is, it's
midfielders or three
non-existent.
defenders. I mean, it's non-existent. But then, if you don't have, it's like at least their bodies in the midfield, right? So they can like latch onto some passes and whatever. But I think I was overall very disappointed with our midfield and defense. Uh, like defense minus Ona, obviously, because like that amazing assist for the first goal. Uh, this was like it was brilliant, and that's why I think she's one of our best players because she's able to produce those moments of brilliance and great header from Leah as well. Uh, but again,
FT
like
थोड़ा
if you,
like for Ona like FT तोड़वानी पड़ेगी I think.
yeah, I mean, I think like if you take away the three goals that we scored, I don't really think there was much in the game apart from that. Like, it's one of those occasions where if you only watch the match highlights, you would think we were amazing, but we actually weren't, and it was very frustrating. So, again, it's kind of the same thing that we've done previously in the season. We've talked about the issues again and again, but I think because of the occasion and because of the historic nature of getting into Wembley, I'm willing to overlook that. But I do think because this is our same starting 11 as the league, so I am a little bit concerned from the league standpoint because
Arsenal.
if we play if we play like this against City, against Arsenal, or even against Villa, it's going to be very difficult for us.
Yeah, and we'll come to the Arsenal game now. But before that, I just wanted to, that we were talking about Russo, but there is this particular clip about Russo that's from Susie. It's quite good. Many of you might have already seen it, but I just wanted to play it again, if in case somebody else wouldn't have seen it yet.
Her name is Jessie, Alessia Rousseau. She went to college, United brought her home. She plays up front and she plays out on the wing. She scares defenders, the family army sing. Her name is Alessia Rousseau. She went to college, United brought her home. She plays up front and she plays out on the wing. She scares defenders, the Barmy Army sing.
Fantastic video from Susie. I think it's quite important to, because I do have the songbook, the Supporters Club songbook, but in the tune you have to sing it. That is something that I struggle with. So it's a good playlist. We'll add the link in the description later on. But yeah, coming to your favorite player, the super Leah Galton, the goal machine this season. I think this
I'm
was her
so
10th goal. Like,
happy, bro.
yeah,
Ah,
like,
she's amazing.
yeah. Just before like we started this, like I before I made this broadcast, I was calculating. Okay, she scored this many goals in this, like in the league, in the cup, and this was actually her 10th goal of the season, and she's never reached double figures. So, like we mentioned in the last reaction as well, best season for Leah Galton at United. Uh, what a season!
I think she's the I think she's been consistently the best OG 21 that we have remaining right now. Like, I know Tooney is really good, and in terms of uh, maybe overall ability wise or whatever, maybe Tony's ahead. But I think ever since, like, this is the fifth season that Leah is playing for us, and every single season, she just gives her best, and she's like at least once, so she gets like player of the month at least once. And she's so important to our attack. And I said that before in one of the videos that her style has always been somebody who would cut in and uh, take the defenders on and kind of score the goal or assist there. But now she has, the box in the box kind of ability. Like, she'll occupy the far post, then she'll tap it in, or she'll score a header. That's something that she didn't have in her game. So I'm so happy that she's scoring so much goals, because like fans from rival fans don't really understand when we say that she's one of the best left wingers in the league. because people think, if you're not playing for the national team, how can you be the best left winger? But she doesn't want to play for the national team. She loves United, and she's happy to be here. And I just think she's very underrated by people in the league.
Yeah, I think that's like whatever you mentioned, that she doesn't want to play for her national team, and that's fine because it carries a lot of baggage as well. And right now, she's enjoying her football. At the end of the day, you should enjoy playing football, and she's doing that. So I've got, like, honestly, I think it's her own decision. I know people talk a lot about why doesn't she play for England, why is she doing that, but it's her decision, it's her life, and I feel that Leah Galton. I honestly prefer club over country. I know that many people do. So that's why I feel like, okay, we've got a fit Leah Galton, and I'm very happy with it. So I think Leah this season, like last season, I feel that she also had COVID. I feel in between, or like towards the beginning of the season, and like she was struggling a little because of the managerial change as well. Like she was trying to adapt to this new role. Obviously, she's still a winger, but the playing style was a little different towards the beginning of the season, and towards the end, Mark adapted a bit, and now we are seeing the best of Leah Galton. And I feel if for example, if you remove Leah from this team, the attacking outlet reduces highly. Even if you play five attackers in place of Leah Gordon, we you won't be able to replicate the impact that she's had this season. 10 goals. I know that people might say, "Oh, 10 goals, it's nothing," but you need to understand that the number of games that are there in WSL, in the league, in the cup, that are comparatively lesser than men's football. So 10 goals is a lot, and she's given a lot of assists as well. And it's not just about the goals and assists, it's about how many times she has tried to test the opposition keeper, the number of times she makes those progressive passes, how many times she drops back to help Hannah Blundell in defense. So I can talk about Leah Galton on a loop, because her backstory as well is so inspirational. Coming, showing that grit, showing that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So I feel Leah, like I feel it'll be good if she gets to 20 goals. I know that's a very far fetched, but go player of the season, Namrata, like for United, or
Okay.
Ona versus Galton. I feel.
I think it's probably be Ona for me because uh like I love Leah, and like I would love her even if she doesn't score a single goal for us. Like I'm so biased in that sense. But I think like Ona this season has been on another planet in terms of both defensive and attacking wise. She's been brilliant. Like all these years we used to. I think Katie McCabe a lot of times when she was playing as a left back, she had similar. She used to kind of be the table topper in terms of assists, or at least in the top three. And everyone is like, "Oh my God, she's a defender and she's been top three assists, and she's so amazing." And I'm so glad, like finally it's Ona who's there, and it's only her who's the defender. So I think the impact that Ona has on the team uh, is the most important. I don't think I think if you keep the same team but you don't have Ona, we would definitely struggle massively. I think we would struggle without Leah as well, but uh, I think we still would have the
Like we
quality
still
to
have
be
the
able to
players,
do.
like we still have a few
Yeah,
players who can operate in that role, but we don't have anybody as a replacement for
yeah,
Ona.
yeah. We just don't have anybody who's there, and I think like El Don here makes a really good point where he says, the goal that Leah scored, uh, actually it should be Leslie who should have been positioned there, and but she was way out of position, and not taking away from Leah, but I think for me this has been one of the issues with Leslie in the last few games, but I think Leah has done well to kind of be there when Russo isn't, because when Russo is in the box, everybody's kind of focusing because everybody knows that's where the cross is going to come to, and Leah has given another option for the defenders to worry about. So I do think that ideally it should have been Russo, but maybe it was a positioning error, or maybe like Leah has become more aggressive in the box, so we kind of did well. Uh,
I, f- I
yeah,
feel the Russo thing that you mentioned, it also comes down to the fact that we don't progress the ball from midfield, so she drops into the midfield, drops a little deeper to link up with Tooney to progress the ball, because every time you can't uh, rely on Maya Letizia to make those pinpoint long balls. Obviously, sometimes she'll also be dispossessed. So yeah, that's my perspective. But
I
before we move on, yeah, 1 minute.
oh
Yeah, go on. We'll do that
no,
after that.
no,
Yeah, sure.
you say. I have one question actually that I want to ask.
Okay, wait. I have something special for you. Wait.
Okay. Whoa! I just okay,
Yeah.
okay. Before I get to my point, I'll tell you one of the reasons why like Leah became my favorite player from the first day is that like when you watch the matches, right, and you hear the fans singing player songs, and like my English isn't that great that I can just hear songs that they're singing and recognize the words, and this was the
Humble.
only song in the first couple of times that I was like, okay, I know what this means, I know what it is for, and it's such a special song. I think like the player and the song, both of them are amazing.
You have such a huge smile on your face whenever you talk about Leah or Ona, and I'm like, okay, she might be a super fan. But I
Yeah,
think I remember you making an illustration about
yeah,
Leah,
yeah,
and I think there was Kirsty as well. So that is
yeah,
my earliest memory of you, like remembering that Ramrata is a super fan of Leah. And I've asked
yeah,
you so many questions about what happened with Leah, like the whole backstory. You've always told me that she's been there and is an inspirational figure, and her relationship with Casey as well. So yeah, fantastic.
yeah.
Yes, you were asking me a question. I'm
So
on the
I
spot now.
so it's not a question, like it's not an on the spot question, but it's something that came up in the comments I think previously, where it was like in most of the games, maybe because Ona is really good on that wing, but I see that most of our attacking play actually comes on the right. So what do you think that, is it a intentional thing that we overload towards the right, or and then kind of wait for Leah either on counter or when there's a cross, or do you think like it's not intentional and it's just the difference in quality between the two wings?
Mm, it's the difference in quality, I think, because what I would say is that Ona is somebody who is wonderful 1v1, and if there are three defenders in front of her, she'll somehow manage to go past all three of them. But with Blundell, I feel that she's a link-up player. She always needs those one-touch quick passes. She always needs assistance to manage to come out of the press. Like I personally feel she's not press resistant. This is not me saying she's a bad player, please, guys. I'm not saying she's a bad player. I like Blundell a lot, and I think she's played well this season, but she's not press resistant. She always, that's why you see Leah is often dropping back. You don't see Lucia or Nikita Paris dropping that deeper, because we all know that Ona Batlle is capable enough to do that brilliant tackle, or make that brilliant block. And I'm not saying that Lucia and Paris don't track back. They do sometimes, but there is reliability on, like, the reliability of Ona as a defensive fullback is better than what Blundell offers. And I feel going forward as well, you need a link up player for Blundell, and that's why Tooney is often linking up with Blundell, and then Leah is like Russo is dropping into the midfield, and that's why we see Leah inside the box. So I feel it's the difference in quality, but that is what I feel is good. Like, I am trying to be more optimistic, and I'm trying to look at the silver linings. So I feel that is good, because if you have similar players on both the wings, then it will create a ruckus. So that's what I personally feel. I'm not trying to justify why Blundell is a Lincoln player, but yeah, like Ona's reliability in terms of attacking and defending is much higher than Blundell's.
I also think there's another reason because like Maya is the right center back, so I just feel like Ona feels a lot more confident when she's around, and so she can actually her starting position itself is a lot higher, and so a lot of times Zellem kind of drops into Ona's position if she's very much higher up. But I think because Millie is actually like kind of static, I think like in her position why she's a bit static, and she needs outlets a lot more like Maya. Like if Maya doesn't have an option around her, she'll play a long pass. But I think Millie doesn't do that. So Hannah actually has to stay back because of which Leah has to stay back. And then again the midfield is kind of overloaded towards the right, so the attacks don't kind of play. And I kind of wish that maybe next season going forwards, I don't know if Mark will make any changes to the midfield, but maybe I would like a bit of a balance towards both the side from the midfield that will kind of allow both the fullbacks to not every match obviously, but against maybe weaker opponents, that maybe Jade Rivera is a is she a left back or is she a right back?
She can play on either wings. So,
Yeah,
or
maybe
either. Yeah.
yeah. If Ona stays and Jade is also there, maybe we can have that. But I think we will also need a left-sided midfielder, I suppose, uh, who can who can release both of them to play.
And I feel the point you made about Maya, I feel that with Maya, she's quite quick as well. Like in
Yeah,
like if she like Ona knows that if she isn't able to track back on time, Maya will be there as the oppressor, and even if she's
yeah.
not able to tackle the ball, she'll run back and try to defend. So that is something I feel Maya offers, and this was my frustration because when Maya was deployed as the RCB, sorry, not RCB, right center back. RCB people, Indian people might say Bangalore. Wow, uh,
I've just
like
been to their match, so I've been shouting RCB on the top of my voice.
yeah, like Maya played as a right back under Hope Powell towards like when she left Brighton, she was playing right back. So I thought that she'll come here, she'll play right back. Ona will shift to left back, and we'll have the two defenders in Tunkara and Millie Turner. Like initially when we signed Maya Letizia, but when we started playing her as the right centre back, when I saw okay she's playing the right centre back, I was so frustrated. Why are you doing that? We'll only have two fullbacks. And then she scored two goals on her debut, and I was like, okay, I'll never say anything about Maya Letizia. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think in terms of fullbacks as well, like for example, in the hypothetical situation where Ona stays, because honestly, I feel she'll leave. But in the situation where she stays, we'll have Ona, we'll have Blundell, we will have Jade, and we'll have hopefully Evie Rapjohn. I still feel that you'll have to tweak your system, like you mentioned that you need to ensure both of your fullbacks go forward. So for that to happen, more than a midfielder right now, I'd say I'd want a centre back because an upgrade on Millie. I'm not saying Millie is bad, but lately she's been struggling. So to grow the competition, maybe a left centre back, left sided centre back, so that who's quick basically, so that Blundell gets the opportunity to move higher up the pitch.
I think I was a bit disappointed. So that's basically the reason why I'm being so disappointed why Tunkara and Estelle Cascarino haven't really gotten a lot of chances playing at centre back. I think like the cup games were a brilliant opportunity to try out different combinations at centre back. I think, and it's again been a bit of my concern where I think Mark seems to like stumble upon what he thinks is the best starting 11, and then I think maybe I'm being too harsh, but I think somehow he doesn't want to find out other better combinations to distract him, and so he doesn't actually even play that. Like like for example, a lot of people wanted to see what a midfield of Lad, Wilde and Tooney would look like, but we've not really had that. Whenever Wilde has played, it has been with Zellum at DM. So, and again, that's not really a very good combination. So, again, during centre back, I think Maya used to be at centre back, and then we played Tungara. Tungara probably did not adjust immediately, and then she wasn't really played again. She hasn't really played in the cup games in FA Cup as well. I think Cascarino was played in midfield, but she plays at left centre back for France. So maybe in a few of the games you could have tried her there. But I think for Mark, Mannion is actually the person who will be in that position. So, but we don't know how much, if she's again going to get back to her really good form before she got injured. And I just feel that we've missed a really good opportunity to try to experiment with these combinations. And it's one combination which, again, I know I'm being very harsh, but I think Mark kind of has one combination, and I think he actually deliberately doesn't try other ones because he doesn't want to find out, like he doesn't want to have a headache that I have two very good combinations, which one do I play? So
I feel
uh
it
I,
also comes down to the fact that if it also comes down to the fact that, for example, we've won today, and tomorrow he tries to experiment with the combination, and then we end up dropping points or we end up losing. Uh, I will be the first ones to say, "Why are you overthinking? We won the game." Of course, like I'm not
but
taking his side, but I'm just saying that it's like he has to take those risks. Like in a game like it was Lewis, right, when Nalson got injured.
yeah,
Yeah. So in a game like Lewis, why didn't you play Tunkara? Like obviously Thoris' daughter played as the left back, I think, and she did so well. Then she got injured, so I felt that maybe it will be better if you bring on Tunkara as the centre back. Like do something. Why aren't you giving them minutes? I do agree with that. Even against Sunderland, we saw Estelle Cascarino come in, make such a good impact. But after that, we've not seen much of Cascarino, and I personally don't know why. Like, if you aren't, it's like when we signed Sinye Brun last season on loan, we did play her, we did want her, but when we signed Cascarino this season, I think we just signed her on loan because she was available. Like, we don't have any plan whatsoever where she'll play. Like, she's versatile. I do know that. Like, there were talks about her being eight, her about being CDM, her about being a fullback, her about being a centre back. But in order to uh, jot down to one position, you need to play her, and you aren't playing her. It's like Grace Clinton all over again. Like, if tomorrow you sign Cascarino, can you actually guarantee her? Like, you can guarantee her, but then you'll not play her. So it's a catch 22 type of situation.
I think I don't know if it's inexperience or if it's obstinate. Like another thing that happened, which uh uh he doesn't. I think he's very risk averse, and like I said before, after the Brighton game, when he started Wilde, and I said there's no, I don't know why he's doing that because there is no precedence for this. And I just knew immediately he's doing that because he wants to start his league team in the FA Cup semi final. So he doesn't really care if any player has done well in the FA Cup till now. And Wilde has, I think she scored or assisted in most of the cup games till now.
She's carried
And
us till the semi-final,
yeah, I mean
I'd say.
exactly. So she's played really well, and he I think he immediately knew that he's not gonna uh, put the same team out, and he's gonna bring on his league team again, and that's why he gave her like pity minutes against Brighton. And you know, it's I think that's a very defeatist attitude, because if there are players who are doing well, and I'm kind of glad at least that he started Lucia Garcia, but he has one lineup and one set of substitutes that he's
Substitutes.
confident with. Uh, you know, players who've given good results. Like Rachel Williams, obviously, I have no complaints against that. But I think the other ones, they haven't really been very uh, awe-inspiring kind of substitutes. But he has those set of substitutes and that exact playing 11. And whenever I think the stakes are high and he has to get a result, he always feels more comfortable doing that, which is not a wrong thing to do. But I think, like today, if Rachel Williams hadn't scored, then you are in such positions where now you need an answer. And so instead of coming up with an answer on the spot, if we can like experiment in the previous games, like right now, for example, let's say we're facing Arsenal and we're losing, or the score is 0-0, and or we're playing against City, the second last match of the season, and we're in a position where we're fourth because of, I don't know, maybe points or whatever, and we want something different. So instead of kind of sitting here and hoping that the same thing kind of rescues us again, we would have like 4 or 5 different strategies, which is what Ten Hag kind of does. Like of course, he is very naive as well, as we saw in the last couple of matches. He can be really naive, but I think I really hope that because our competition, in Conti Cup, the teams that we had in the league, in the group stage, were the easiest group stage I've ever got. The run into the FA Cup, we haven't met the top 5 teams. I don't think, did we face Villa in FA Cup? No. So we haven't faced even a single top 5 team or a top 6 team in the FA Cup run in. So uh, I just feel, it was a very easy run in, and you could have tried more combinations, and then you could
Like
have
this
used
was the first time in the FA Cup where we played a WSL side, I think.
exactly. So that is, again, as I said, it's the first time and we kind of struggled. And I know we got some moments which were really good because Russo scored the goal even though she wasn't playing well. Rachel Williams came on and kind of rescued us, but we weren't playing a good game. We weren't having a good game. And if things were different, the results would be very different, because it's not like, so our solution is put Rachel Williams on, but a lot of times she will come up with the goal, but there will be times when she will not have a good game where she will also struggle. What is our solution now? And we're seeing Millie Turner kind of commit a lot of errors. What is our solution to that? Maybe it's Aoife Mannion, but will she be starting or will she be a sub? Like, I don't really understand. So uh
And this late into the season, I don't like honestly, I don't see him making any
yeah,
changes
I
this
don't
late
think
into
he
the
will.
season.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I'm not saying that he should. Like obviously, right now we are seeing the mistakes, but then again, it's always risky to try out a new thing when you're like, Abhi, it's like clutch time. If you lose anything,
The
like we'll run after
But
you.
I've been saying this the whole year though, like I think I actually think, in this run in, I wouldn't say that, change your starting 11. And I just feel like we should have done this previously when when the margin wasn't really close, when uh we could have made errors. The time when we were 3-0 up, that game at Old Trafford against Aston Villa, the game against Liverpool when we were, up by 2-3 goals. I think we could have tried something different, and we haven't really tried much. So hopefully we don't need to be in that situation where uh, we have to think of new ideas, and we get top 3, because honestly, like, getting into FA Cup final is meaningless unless you win the trophy. And
Exactly.
even if you win the trophy, you need the top 3. And so, you know, let's see.
And last thing that I would say is that, I see a lot of people say, why are you criticizing Mark? And, why are you criticizing the players? We are at the top of the table. We are in a semi final. Now, if they'll say we are in a final, but right now, what is happening is we are winning and we are playing good football. Sometimes we are, sometimes getting those 1-0, 2-0 wins. But overall, what I would feel is that we are becoming too predictable. So this type of game management, this type of the way players are playing, I feel some players, I'm not trying to generalize it, but it's not sustainable because next season, if we continue to do this again, uh, I don't think we'll be anywhere near where we were this season, because then again we are becoming too predictable in terms of, like, for example, today even we knew Thomas. I'm not criticizing again, please don't think I'm criticizing, but I'm just saying that we know that Thomas will come in, we know that Rachel Williams will come in. So sometimes you need to uh, try out some different things, and I think that now that he's staying next season as well, we do something different, because if we continue this next season as well, I think teams as it is now are getting a hold of how to tackle our chances of going forward, because like we played last game against Brighton, we did well, but this game against Brighton, like, obviously it was a new manager bounce, I feel, uh, Melissa Phillips, but this time they were all over us, like 2-2. Who would have thought? The team who has conceded more than 50 goals in the WSL this season, they have scored two against us in the semi-final. And when they are playing under a new manager who was appointed during the international break. So we are becoming predictable. You can deny it if you want, but it is the truth. But I'm not, you means not Namrata, but overall people. Yeah. Uh, yeah, that's it. I feel obviously, like, we are happy about going into the final, but the toughest run of fixtures start now. We play Arsenal on Wednesday night. Then I think we have a game against Villa. Uh, how many games are left? Four are left. Five are left. Then one
Then
against I don't know who's left, but yeah,
West
Leicester
Ham?
is left.
No, West Ham we play. So there's Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Villa,
Villa.
and
One more is left.
is it Spurs? No, no,
Yeah,
Spurs.
Spurs. Spurs
I
is
think
left.
Spurs will play. Okay.
No, Spurs
The
is left.
return of the Suman. I
Uh,
think they will
so tough,
100% be
very
looking
tough.
for
I think
revenge.
it's
Like like Spurs will 100% be looking for revenge against us. So like I think every single game is very important because I know like it's Liverpool and we should be beating them, but like if they avoid relegation, and I think they will avoid relegation, then like it's the last game of the season and it's like their cup final, so they will come at us completely like all guns firing. And I think Spurs as well, the last time, they got the 2 match suspension for like Tooney's red card was rescinded, and their player then got a 2 card suspension, so they would really be trying to get revenge. Kala Ward will be itching to be the matchmaker in WSL, like the kingmaker in WSL, right? So
Carla. We
again,
gave you Kirsty Hansen this season. Please don't do this to
but
us.
then we took Evie Rapjohn from her, so she's pissed. So I think like she will definitely be coming at us. Arsenal and City, obviously it's these are big games. So I think all the 5 games that are remaining are of huge importance. And let's see. I think every single player and their grandmothers know how we're gonna play. So it's not gonna be a very like it's not gonna come as a surprise. I don't think there'll be any surprise unless there are injuries and like touch wood there are no injuries. Uh, so hopefully like going into the FA Cup final we would have secured top three and then I can be happy watching the match. But if we haven't got top three going into the FA Cup final, it's gonna be like yeah, a lot of bittersweet moments.
And the thing is that I think now, like, Chelsea's next game in the WSL is in May. Like, they play Liverpool on 3rd May.
Shit.
So there is, like, we can't depend on Liverpool to, like, okay, sorry, not Liverpool. We can't depend on Chelsea to say, okay, you'll drop points, because they have their 2 Champions League games back to back. Like,
Yeah.
22nd is the first leg
And they're
and
playing
27th is
Barcelona.
the second leg.
Are they
Yeah,
playing Barcelona or who's playing Barcelona?
yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
are
playing
playing Barcelona, Chelsea, Barcelona,
brilliant.
and Wolfsburg versus Arsenal.
So I think it's the Arsenal
Manifest,
man.
Namrata.
I think it's the Arsenal match that is going to decide if we are going to get in top three. Uh, I don't know actually, because I just feel like we say that we expect to win against Man City, but like Man City also kind of turn up against us because like they know it's
Like
the one match.
honestly, we haven't beaten City in the league.
Yeah, we haven't beaten them in the league, and like I think they would probably be feeling that this. They would also feel this is the match that they can win out of all the remaining ones. Like they go into matches against Chelsea and Arsenal expecting that they're going to win. They're definitely going to think they can win this one, and so I don't know. I just feel a lot more confident against Arsenal, but again, we have to go into those matches thinking we're going to win each and every one of them. But I still think that the upset is going to come against Villa.
Oh God. You know that imagine if we beat every other side but we lose to Spurs. That will infuriate me
I
out
think
of
I
my
think we'll still get top three, so I won't be that sad. like,
yeah, that's true.
uh, but I think Spurs are. We
No,
should be beating Spurs quite easily.
no hopes for title charge.
I think I had hopes for a title charge all the time, but like like and to be honest, you know what? I think I had hopes from title charge when the men's team were still in that really amazing period. Like I let myself get carried away with them, and now I'm suffering badly. So I don't want to do the same with the women's team. Even if I think we have it in us for title charge, but I'm not gonna put my feelings there because like I don't know, man. It was brutal with the men's team. So let's see.
Phew, we promised that we'll stick to 25 minutes, but we've done another 52 minutes fiasco. But yeah, like obviously we are going to the final. It's valid.
Yeah.
Uh, and first of all, I'd like to say is that it's a surreal. Like again, I'd like to say it's surreal to be in a final. But now that we've finished our conversation, I am not as happy as I was initially because now the tough period begins. Like now the night begins. Now my watch begins. Sorry, what is it? And now my watch
Now
begins.
my watch has
Sorry.
ended.
No,
Which one?
no.
The
Now my
oath
watch
is like
begins.
now
Yeah,
my watch begins.
yeah.
The
Not
keeper on
ended.
the walls.
Namrata, please.
I think,
It's
but
not
the
ended
famous
yet.
one is now my watch has ended, right?
Yeah, correct. And I think it's actually now his watch has ended.
That is when they like that's a funeral. Let's not
Okay,
get there.
only Jon Snow would have said that my watch has ended, not someone
Yeah.
else. Yeah. But yeah, tough period begins. We'll meet again, hopefully, after the Arsenal win. Uh, and yeah, manifesting that Chelsea somehow lose tomorrow. Like, honestly, I'm ready to face Chelsea in the final if they drop to 6 points in the league. Like, Chelsea can win FA Cup, but drop 6 points in the league, and we win all the remaining games.
Of course. And like obviously if
Uh,
you win the
uh,
WSL, it's that's much better
viewers
than the World Cup, right?
viewers would be like terms and conditions ही add करते रहेंगे ये लोग. Yeah, but thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to the 12 a.m. club. 55 minutes have gone by. It's going to be 1 a.m. now, so we'll not disturb you any longer. 1 a.m. for us, not for you. You guys can sleep
Carry
peacefully
on.
uh, and prepare for tomorrow's game for the men's team. But yeah, thank you so much for joining in. Do subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. We are very close to 1.5k, and it will be fantastic if you can help us reach there before United lift the trophy this season, the FA Cup trophy and the WSL trophy. So ensure that you have subscribed to the channel, share this video if you liked it, and if you didn't, please let us know in the comments below how we can uh, we how we can help you enjoy the channel more, and follow us on our Twitter. Follow Namrata on her Twitter. The links, like, you can follow us on our Twitter, and then you can follow Namrata. And yeah, thank you so much for joining in. Take care, stay safe. Manifest a Chelsea loss or a Chelsea dropping 6 points. So, uh, uh, any parting words, Namrata?
I think just I'm gonna play Glory Glory Man United after this, and when it's like uh and we're the boys and we go to Wembley, and it's like with the girls in red, and we're on our way to Wembley. So yeah,
It's
that's what I'm
time
gonna
to
do.
make a new one, right?
Yeah, I think we should make a new one with the girls, and we should replace the
Yeah,
boys with the girls one.
yeah, correct. Karthik, why is it rude? Sorry, guy. Sorry, Karthik. Yeah, it's one name for you as well. Yeah, he's also a 12 a.m. club guy, guys. Happy now. Chalo. Bye. Take care.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys. Thank you so much.